The simplest healthy habit to start this new year is one for your dog. Every day, more dog people and more vets are quitting the kibble, kicking the cans, and feeding their dogs dog food that's actually, well, food. The Farmer's Dog food is developed with vets, made fresh from real meat and veggies, portioned for your dog and delivered right to your door. Get 50% off your first box of smarter, healthier pet food at thefarmersdog.com/startfresh. That's thefarmersdog.com/startfresh.
Hey everyone, guess what? A crazy thing has just happened. A new year has arrived. I don't know if you noticed it. These things can creep up on you. In fact, I'm always surprised myself when it rolls around. I am recording this during the last few days of 2022 as I enjoy a few days of holiday along with Chuck, our producer, the rest of the team. But presumably, if the world has not ended, most likely you're hearing this in 2023. That is just insane, but I guess we made it. Congratulations. I mean, that's some good news to start the year off with, right? We are still here. We are alive. So from me here, my name's Chris Gillipo. This podcast is called Side Hustle School. Just in case you are joining in, most years we do get a new group of listeners joining sometime in January, perhaps some people who are rejoining. You know, we've been doing this for a while, so you might have listened in year one, year two, took some time off, and now you're back. So welcome back or welcome. Whatever the case may be, in this short inaugural episode of Season 7, I would like to spend just a few minutes today reorienting us. All right, so what's it all about? The mission of Side Hustle School, a daily podcast, is to help you create a new source of income without quitting your job. And to be specific, this is not about the gig economy. It's not about just driving for Uber or even just working two jobs, two kind of menial jobs or like your extra night job. That kind of hustling. It's about creating significant revenue, aka money, through an asset you create. Okay, I want to help change people's lives here, not just, pay some bills. I mean, paying bills good too, but we look at people who have made six-figure incomes through their side hustle, sometimes more than that. We have featured hundreds of real people, not quote unquote entrepreneurs, quote, just people who've had day jobs but found a way in their limited time to create something that, as I said, brings in significant revenue for them. So in the show, we look at the practical nuts and bolts of how you can do this for yourself. This includes everything from generating the right idea down to the implementation and marketing of the idea, how you can grow that business. That's what it's all about, basically. Like, our values are being frugal and resourceful, but also being willing to invest in yourself, right? Because you want to achieve a positive return. So if you have no idea who I am, in case you're curious, well, I'll just be brief here. I am an author and entrepreneur. I have always worked for myself from the age 19 onwards. I learned I wasn't good at working for other people, but I found a way to do lots of stuff for myself, which I had this whole career of writing and sharing about. I was an aid worker in West Africa for several years, and then I started a blog called The Art of Nonconformity, which also documented my journey to visit every country in the world. And these days, I feel really fortunate to connect with a global community of amazing people doing interesting things, such as yourself. Yes, I'm talking to you. You are awesome. You're doing some awesome things. I want to help you do some more awesome things this year. And by the way, this is all free. Just to be clear, nothing is for sale. There's literally no way to give me money on the Side Hustle School site. More than 2,000 episodes are freely available in the archives. How is this possible? Well, it's possible because we do have sponsors. And I appreciate those sponsors. I appreciate those brief advertising messages. And if you've listened to podcasts, you probably know how that works. It's just super simple. One at the beginning of every episode, one partway through. And we try to choose partners whenever possible who are, on brand and are making truly valuable offers to you. So I hope you'll find some of them helpful, but there's never any pressure to do anything. So speaking of sponsor messages, in a moment here, you're going to get an example of one of those. And when we return, I'll tell you more about what lies ahead for 2023.
If you've been thinking about buying a luxury SUV, you'll definitely want to consider the Volkswagen Touareg, which comes with an impressive 3-litre V6 turbo diesel engine and 4Motion all-wheel drive. The Touareg 170 TDI is now available from $95,990 drive away with a free 5-year care plan. The only downside is you'll be kicking yourself for not getting one sooner. Isn't it time you SUVW? Conditions and exclusions apply. Visit Volkswagen.com.au.
All right, what lies ahead? Well, Side Hustle School is a daily podcast. first and foremost. We actually started that trend, or we're a very big part of it. Now there's a number of other daily podcasts, but when I started this, there were very, very few. The only ones were kind of large produced shows that had, a lot of staff, a lot of people working on them. And so we kind of started that up, and we're going to keep it going every day in 2023. A few upcoming episodes include a lesson on or a case study on how to sue telemarketers. Just in case you're tired of getting telemarketing calls, what if you could get paid when you got a telemarketing call? That's pretty cool. We're going to hear from a guy who's working multiple jobs simultaneously. And when I say that, I don't just mean kind of like what I was referring to earlier about, hustling menial jobs. I mean a guy who's like working multiple full-time jobs remotely without, either employer knowing about it. So it's a whole interesting concept called overemployed or multi-working. So we'll talk about that, some tips for doing it. A Failure Friday episode where a wedding planner experiences basically every possible disaster you could imagine. An episode on how to make a sales page. So we've got lots of stories, but they're also like practical tips. Try to have a mix, of like where you can be inspired, but also go away and do something. That's the goal of the show. Pretty much every day, or at least week in, week out, you're going to get that. Also, if you've been following me for a while, you know that writing books is my main thing. At least as much as I have a main thing. I have a whole life of side hustles, but being an author is my primary role. So the last book I published, The Money Tree, came out in April 2020. It was not a great week or month or season for touring, it turned out, because of that whole pandemic thing. But new book coming out called Gonzo Capitalism. I am really excited about it. It's about how the global economy stopped making sense a couple of years ago. I've got lots of really great stories that I've been saving, almost none of which have been told before. So Gonzo Capitalism, that book comes out in August. I will be touring to at least 15 cities to meet readers and listeners, hopefully more as well, but I'm going to commit to at least 15. So hopefully we'll get a chance to hang out somewhere. And, I guess maybe just in conclusion, as we begin, so it's in conclusion, but to begin a year, I know that some of our community, some of you guys have been around for years. I just want to say that you are awesome. You inspire me. I really hope that something this year is truly significant for you. And that's what I was thinking about as I kind of came into the studio this morning to record. I was like, there's nothing wrong with small tweaks and continuous improvement. In fact, most of the time, that's probably the roadmap to success, just making these small tweaks and, improving day to day. But, at the same time, this year, I am also rooting for you that you will go above and beyond. All right. I'm just rooting that there's going to be some significant change. I'm rooting for you, Taylor Swift style. You're going to go above and beyond this year. And let me know, of course, if that happens. I'd love to share your story or not. We can keep you anonymous, or I'd just like to know when the show is making a difference. So that's it for today. A new episode out tomorrow, every single day, right? 7 days a week. And then let's see here. Before I go, what is a New Year's resolution? It's something that goes in one year and out the other. Also, one more thing. I was going to quit all my bad habits for the new year, but then I remembered that nobody likes a quitter. You're welcome. Throwing that in free as well. Okay, subscribe, follow, wherever you get your podcasts. It's going to be fun. My name is Chris Guillebeau. You're listening to Side Hustle School.
From the Onward Project.